Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Now, if you are someone who jumps from one meeting to another, be it client calls, internal stand-ups, sales demos, or reviews, you know how overwhelming it can get keeping a track of everything. Now, for me, the biggest game changer to this problem has been having a smart note taker that follows me across every meeting. So this helps me in terms of saving time switching tabs, waiting for understanding what did the other person say. At the end of the day, chaos in terms of trying to remember what are the action items. And that's exactly why today we are going to do a full walkthrough of a tool called as Granola, which is a powerful AI note taker that automatically joins your calls, captures everything, organizes it beautifully, and helps you stay on top of your day without the mental load. So let's quickly dive in. Now, when we log into Granola, the first few steps that it takes is one, it integrates with our email ID with our calendar, through which it fetches all the upcoming meetings, it fetches what are the previous meetings, and if it has been part of those meetings, then it even analyzes what were the notes or transcripts. Now, I'll show you a quick example wherein, say, I attended a workshop on US sales, and after that workshop, I got a complete AI generated meeting notes that were quite crisp, that were easy to understand, and at the same time, if I also want to take any manual notes, I can do that by taking my private notes over here. To generate an AI notes, what Granular does is one, it transcribes everything that is recorded in the meeting. And once that is done, when you click over here on the top, if you see this icon enhance notes, it gives me all the notes right here. Now, if I want to ask a particular question from this particular notes, like say for example, what are the best practices? And when I press enter, what Granula's AI does is based on the transcript, based on the notes, it compiles and gives me exactly what I need or what I'm looking for. And that helps me in terms of making the best use out of the notes that I've taken. Ideally, the reason why we use note takers is to keep a track of what is the call to action, what was discussed in a particular meeting. But beyond that, how can we use a note taker is by analyzing the conversations, analyzing or getting certain content out of it to make certain context. So this is a quick overview about what Granula's note taker does in terms of creating your notes. Now, at the same time, say for example, we have seen that there are a lot of note takers in the market that even record the entire meetings, they give you the meeting recordings and all. What sets Granola separate from the others in the market is the way they are classifying and categorizing these notes. And at the same time, there are these recipes right here. When you click on recipes, that help you in terms of streamlining your calendar. Now, say for me, I have a lot of meetings that are scheduled, a lot of meetings that I have to be part of. So, how do I analyze how to improve on those? So, there is multiple recipes that are contributed by multiple people over here. Let me show you an example of this particular recipe wherein I'll be able to get advice on my current meeting schedule and how can I optimize it. So when I click on try recipe over here, if you can see, what it's doing is once it's analyzing all the meetings that are done. So it calculates how many recurring meetings do I have. It tells me that how do I convert my meetings or anything into execution. And at the same time, I'm getting all the examples over here on how can I make my calendar more streamlined and where is it that I'm necessary to get involved. So this is a sort of feedback or this is a sort of understanding that I'm able to gauge using this tool. Now, ideally, throughout the week when we are part of meetings, we don't get the time to think that, okay, which meeting or where was my time needed. And that's wherein things like these come in handy, wherein at the end of the week, if I want to do an analysis, if I want to understand what can I do better for my next week, then these tools, these recipes can become helpful. How does this work is, for example, whatever meeting that I have, this tool helps me get a reminder also that I have this meeting scheduled at this particular time and I need to join 5 minutes early, or else this is how the note taker gets added in. We often see that when we are adding a note taker, it gets added as an attendee onto the meetings. For Granola, that's not the case because Granola is an application that runs separately and we don't need to add it as a separate attendee. So to ensure that the added audience is not there, this note taker works on a system itself. That's the benefit that we get out of using Granola. So quickly, there were these things where we saw how to take notes. We saw how can we use Granola to keep a track of our upcoming meetings, and how can we use the recipes to analyze our performance, analyze how have those meetings gone. So this was about how Granola is designed to give us very simplified yet organized meeting notes and structuring our meetings. So if this is something that you might find helpful, please do try it out and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And please do subscribe to our channel if you would like to see more of such tools. And thank you so much for watching this video.